Good morning, Vande Matram. Welcome all of you. So this morning we are going to discuss on a very interesting topic, that is Om Shanti. So of course you are acquainted with the term Shanti, peace, calm. So these are the terms you are better acquainted with, you know, and almost every time you just use and on yourself, and of course on outwardly and inwardly, covertly and overtly, hiddenly or openly. These terms you keep using in your daily life, of course in ordinary life and also in the spiritual life. So these the Om Santihi Santihi Santihi. Simply, our people who are pursuing this integral yoga must be acquainted with this prayer. Oh, peace, come, manifest. Oh, peace, come, manifest. We need peace. Peace is the basic condition requirement in this sadhana. Of course, it's the integral yoga. So, peace, both external and internal, it is required. It is the basic requisite in the path. So, today we are going to discuss little bit on Shanti. The topic, the caption will be Om Shanti. O truth, come manifest. So anyway, the two terms we use, Shanti and Asanti. So without lack of peace, these are the two terms. It is almost running side by side in our life, both in spiritual life and of course who have gone across the who have actually crossed the limit, who has come to a point. For them actually Ashanti is not there, but thing is that initial level personal effort when it is required at the very starting, very beginning. So both the things are coming simultaneously into his life. So today we are going to discuss something, of course, on quarter an hour discussion on peace. Sri Aurobindo quotes very interestingly what is this peace. Sri Aurobindo quotes, Shanti is peace or calm. Shanti, already Om Shanti. Sri Aurobindo quotes very interestingly, tries to clarify and confirm. So, Shanti is peace or calm, it is not Ananda. There is a big difference between Shanti and Ananda. Shanti is peace and or calm, that is possible, but not Ananda. There can be, of course, be a calm Ananda. Calm Ananda, calm can be an adjective before Ananda, but thing is that it is different. Shanti is peace or calm. It is not Ananda. There can be, of course, a calm of Ananda. Anyway, Sri Aurobindo moves one more step forward. In peace, there is besides the sense of stillness, a harmony that gives a feeling of liberation and full satisfaction. Two things are coming if you are in peace or Shanti. So what is that? One is liberation, feeling of liberation and full satisfaction. These are the things coming with peace. So again, I want to quote the sentence of the message, of course. In peace, there is, besides the sense of stillness, one is sense of stillness is there, a harmony is there, and gives the feeling of liberation and full satisfaction. Again, Sri Aurobindo tries to explain about peace and Ananda. Very interestingly, Sri Aurobindo quotes, peace is a sign of mukti or liberation. Already we have seen it gives feeling of liberation, full satisfaction. There is stillness and there is harmony. And here Sri Aurobindo quotes, peace is a sign of mukti. Ananda moves towards the siddhi. Sadhana and Siddhi, the end of the sadhana is Siddhi, and Ananda moves towards the Siddhi, a step forward towards Siddhi in the path of Siddhi. Anyway, Sri Aurobindo tries to clarify in another term, the joy should be deep within. Sometimes we don't know what really peace, what really Ananda, what really the Shanti is there. So suppose sometimes like you are moving tired, moving in the scorching heat. Sometimes you are coming on and sitting under the fan or AC room. Oh, then you feel, oh, what a great Shanti, great peace it is. That is external. Thing is that we don't know what really peace is. Suppose we are too much hungry. After get hungry, we are getting little bit of food. So after eating the food, oh, what a great peace, great Shanti is there. But thing is that all the external, it is actually satisfying the mind. But the thing is the real Shanti, the real peace, the define is something. The definition is something different. The peace need not be grave or joyless. Anyway, we'll quote that previous term. The joy also should be deep within. even if it is the joy, after joy also so many layers, you will so many terms you will find, like delight, epiphany, bliss, ananda, beatitude, rapture. So many things you will get. But thing is, even if the joy is the joy also should have a deep within, then it will not conflict with the deeps of the peace and inner consciousness. So everything, from the here, from this point of time, from this bend of life, you will see that everything is really within, nothing external, everything is internal. So against during the course, the peace and the patience go together. Peace and patience. If there is no patience, if you are impatient, that is naturally that turbulence, no peace will come. Like you can take the example, compare also the terms, like suppose you are standing on a seashore, there is actually turbulence, there is waves, there is so many sounds and all. But if you go deep within, on the surface only you see find all this turbulence, on this disturbance on everything. But if you go deep within the sea, and you turn horizontally and vertically, if you go a long distance, naturally this turbulence, this disturbance will not be there, and you will never be affected. And Sri Aurobindo anyway quotes here, peace and patience go together. By having patience under all kinds of pressure, you will have the foundation of peace. That patience must be there. Situation will be turbulence, so many problems will be coming to you, there will be pressure natural in your life. If you can withstand that pressure, under all kinds of pressure, if you can, of course, keep patience, then that is the foundation of the peace, real peace. Again, we'll see another things here in the pure. Then of course the peace need not be grave and joyless. Sometimes we feel peace, nobody will be there, I will be simply silent, I will talk to none, I will be in the almost in the confined atmosphere, nothing like this. So still in the course, peace need not be grave or joyless. There should be nothing gray in it. Everything will be illumined, everything will be blissful, nothing grave in it. But the gladness or joy or sense of lightness that comes in the peace must be necessarily something internal. That's what again and again during the course, everything must be internal. That gladness, that joyfulness, and this sense of lightness, everything must be internal. If we stay on the surface, then after some times it will go. So if we are connected and we are lying tagged to the internal consciousness, that it is long, its longevity is more, it is enduring, and it has got a big lifespan. So self, not only internal, something internal, self existence, or due to a deepening of experience. For that, the joy, the peace will come, that will be permanent, that will be actually, of course, it is a long standing, long lasting also. It can be like the laughter of which you speak, that is conveyed to an external sense or dependent upon it. Something you got the, your son got the merit, you got the laughter, the sense of peace. No, that is actually external. It is somehow, it is nothing with actually yogic experience. Nothing it relates. So something amusing, exhilarating, etc. That is external. But that joyfulness, that chillness, that coolness, that carefulness, and that truthfulness, all are equanimity, calmness, peace, shanti, everything is internal. It must be those, so it must be taken care of. Then after peace, another term, actually it is coming to purity. But before we are going to purity, one more definition we'll see. The peace is more positive than calm. Sometimes we see calm, we are sitting there. Peace, but it is different. Peace and is more positive than calm. There can be a negative calm, which is merely the absence of disturbance or trouble. When there is no disturbance, no trouble, there is also one calmness, but it is a negative type. But the peace is always something positive. There is no negative in peace, or negativity in peace. It is always positive, bringing not merely the release of calm dots, or but a certain happiness and ananda of itself. Every time this peace brings ananda and happiness. There is also a positive calm. Some could not always negative. In calm, positivity also in calmness is there. Positive calm, something that stands against all things that seek to trouble, not thin and natural like the negative calm. So it is thin, negative is also calm is there, and the positive calm is also is there. But the thing is that it is very thin. But not strong and massive, comparing to negative is. So again, we'll go for this when we have talked about the peace, calm, santi, etc. Ananda. Now it shall go another step forward, that is purity. Purity, sometimes when we feel we are purity, means we have taken bath, we have so many dust and everything was there, we have cleaned it out. So our dress is cleaned, our body is cleaned. So like this we take it that way. But actually here we are speaking of the purity, soul's purity, and it is internal purity. It purity is more condition than in substance. It is a condition that than that of a substance. Substance we are taking, these things must be there. It must be cleaned out. The room will be cleaned, purified. Now itself we are taking sanitizer and all. So these are the external things. Instead in the course, purity is more a condition than a substance. Peace helps to purity. Peace, when it is coming, almost it is positive peace and it is from internal, it helps the purity. Since in peace disturbing influences cease, because in peace no disturbing element will be there, so it helps in the purity in that way, in that circle. And the essence of purity is to respond only to the divine influence. Here see impurity and purity we have seen. Impurity, we have, when we are cleaning the room it was impure, we have cleaned it, so it is pure. That way we are thinking. Dress was impure, so we have taken it like that. But actually here the purity, that is spiritual purity, which is under the direct influence of the divine, under the only respond to the divine influence, and not to leave it to the leave, not to have an affinity to the other movements. So it is almost the orientation is divine orientation. Again, purity is to accept no other influence but only the influence of the divine. But thing is that we don't know. Yes, okay, it is pure. Rice is pure. Oil is pure. Because this ISO mark is there, it is written, so it is pure. Nothing like this, because it is of the mental phenomenon. It is a surface. It is substance. But thing is that only the divine influence is there in the purity. So suppose if this gold is pure, means that impurities is gone. So after this impurities, copper and all, it is eliminated. It gets the purity. So when the divine influence is there, it is there also from the itself garland, or from the ring itself. We have removed the impurities, so it became pure. Like this with the divine influence, there itself the goldsmith was preparing, purifying the gold ornament, but to bring it into the 24 karat gold. Here the divine is the purifying agent, he purifies. So purity means freedom from the soil or mixture. There must not be anything. As the gold, it has been mixed with something copper, so this ornament has been built. From to reget the original gold, these impurities must be cleared out. So purity means freedom from the soil or mixture. The divine purity is that which is there is no mixture of the troubled, ignorant movements. There copper or something in the ornament, but here the turbid, ignorant movement of the lower nature that disturbs. These are the disturbing elements. Ordinarily, purity is used to mean the common language, freedom from the sexual passion and impulse. That was the Sri Aurobindo quoted. So anyway, sometimes we feel peace. We are facing somebody is resting in the island. Bill Gates goes and asks, "Why are you resting in the daytime?" Those one go and catch the fish. Then the man asking, "What is the purpose? You will gain more. Then you will have peace." That's this man is asking, answering, "Yes, that's what I am doing. With peace I am here. I have asked something. That's what I am enjoying. And you are running after money matter. After some time you will not be in a position to know what is really peace. That's what I am asking. So I don't have any external attachment." Again, Sri Aurobindo quotes, divine purity is not more wide and all-embracing experience than the psychic. Anything, it is related to psychic, but Sri Aurobindo any other quotes that pure Ananda is greater than the psychic. So psychic holds a greater role in purity and peace.